Hello. So today we are going to study about the types of operating systems which are there for the study. So first and foremost thing, we are having general purpose operating system, which is nothing but GPOS, and second one is real time operating system, which is nothing but RTOS. So we know that general purpose operating system is a one which is used for general applications, right? Might be viewing a video or editing a document, okay, or all general applications. So that's why we are going to use general purpose operating systems. The example for the general purpose operating systems is Windows. Okay, so it is Windows, so that becomes a general purpose application. The second one is we are having real time operating systems, which are nothing but RTOS. So now this RTOS is used for particular applications, whereas they are not general. So they are all real time in nature. That means whatever the event which is happening in real time, that data will be captured by the real time operating system. So apart from that, we are having again two operating systems. One is hard real time operating system, and second one is soft real time operating systems. So what is hard real time operating systems? These are the systems which adhere to the timing constraints for a task referred as hard real-time systems. A hard real-time system must meet the deadlines for a task without any slippage. Okay, so here we should note a point that the system must and should have to meet the deadlines. If it doesn't meet the deadlines, then first and foremost thing, that operating system is not at all called as hard real-time system, and the particular overall system gets uh, damaged. Okay, so that's why the hard real-time system must and should have to meet the deadlines for a task without any slippage. Missing any deadline may produce a catastrophic results for hard real-time system, including permanent data loss and irrecoverable damages to the systems or users, right? The good example is the hard real times are getting used in the research areas, might be in DRDO, might be in ISRO and all. So they will be using the hard real-time systems, wherein uh, the operating system should and must have to obey the particular event. Okay. The hard real-time systems emphasize a principle that a late answer is a wrong answer, right? So for example, if I am having a sensor, might be a temperature sensor, right? So for which I have connected a microcontroller, correct, and for which I have connected a DC motor. Okay, so the for which I have connected a DC motor. Now what is the problem? The problem is that this DC motor should and must have to rotate. The DC motor should and must have to rotate at whenever the temperature reaches to certain range. Okay, so this is DC motor. Okay, so if the temperature reaches to a certain range, so microcontroller will read that and it will give a signal to a DC motor so that the DC motor starts rotating, right? This is used, okay, so this is used, might be this application is used to protect one room, okay, so that room, and this DC motor will consider it as a AC, okay, we will consider it as AC. So as soon as the temperature reaches, so microcontroller will give a signal to the AC, so AC will start and will keep this room in a cool condition, right? So a late answer is a wrong answer. By chance, if the microcontroller doesn't reads the particular temperature range, so this microcontroller doesn't give a signal to the AC so that this overall room gets cool. Okay, it might read afterwards also whenever the temperature has crossed. So microcontroller might read and it might give a signal to AC, but at that till that point of time, the room might have got heated to the very higher extent. Okay, but if it would have been read earlier, then the microcontroller would have given a signal to a DC motor and the room temperature would have maintained constant. So that's why a late answer is a wrong answer. The system can have several such tasks, and the key to their correct operation lies in scheduling them so that they meet their time constraints. Right. So this microcontroller might have other sensors also. Okay. So this microcontroller should schedule these tasks in such a way that it can operate, or it can read all the sensors, and it can operate all the devices which have been connected to the microcontroller. The good example is airbag control system and anti-lock braking system, which are used in cars. Okay, so the airbag control system, as everybody knows, should open. Okay, is connected to a microcontroller. So microcontroller will read any accident, and as soon as it reads accident, it will make sure that it should operate the airbag control system, right? So that the driver gets protected. By chance, if it such happens that the sensor which is there doesn't reads the accident, what will happen? It doesn't opens the airbag. If it doesn't opens the airbag, the person who is a driver might lose his life. Okay, so that's why we call it as a late answer is a wrong answer, even if the sensor reads late. Okay, so after the accident might have happened. Okay, so till that point of time also the damage would have been happened to a system. Okay, so that's why in reading such severe systems we have to use a hard real-time operating systems. Then we are having a soft real-time operating systems. Okay, so these are directly opposite to that of a hard real-time operating system. This operating system that does not guarantee meeting the deadlines but offer the best effort to meet the deadlines are referred to as soft real-time systems, right? So this doesn't guarantee meeting the deadlines, but they'll surely meet or they'll process the particular sensor. Missing deadlines for tasks are acceptable for a soft real-time system if the frequency of deadline is missing. Okay, frequency deadline missing is within the compliance limit of the quality of service. That mean what? Okay, so a processor or a system operating system might miss some of the process, okay, for execution, but that missing frequency should not be more. Okay, so that is acceptable in soft real-time systems. A soft real time system emphasizes the principle a late answer is acceptable answer, but it could have done a bit faster, right? As I told you, a late answer can be accepted, but it could have been done faster. Soft real time systems most often have a human on the loop. That means there should be a human person who can operate the system. The good example is automatic teller machine ATM. Okay, is a typical example for soft real-time system. ATM takes few seconds more than the ideal operation time and nothing fatal happens. So there are again we are having three important points. One is task, process and threads. A task is defined as the program in execution and the related information maintained by the operating system for the program. Task is also known as a job in the operating system context. A program or part of program is in execution is also called as a process. The terms task, job and process refer to the same entity and they are normally used interchangeably because they mean the same. So first of all, we should study process. So what is a process? A process is a program or part of it in execution. Okay. A process is also known as an instance of a program in execution. So what is the structure of process? The concept of process leads to the concurrent execution, okay, which is a pseudo parallelism, right, of tasks, and thereby the efficient utilization of CPU and other system resources will be done, right? So if you want to use the efficient CPU efficiently, then you should make sure that the processes which are running should run in parallel. Okay, thereby all the resources which are there in CPU gets utilized. So thereby almost all the 100% of the CPU utilization will be done. Concurrent execution is achieved through the sharing of CPU among the processes. A process mimics a processor in the properties and holds a set of registers, process status, and program counter to point to the next executable instruction of a process, and stack for holding the local variables, okay, and code corresponding to the process. What does it mean? It means that whenever the process starts executing, so now this process, okay, behaves it's as a processor. Okay, for example, processor will be having control over all the registers, all the process status word, and also it will be having a control over the program counter, then stack, everything. It will be the processor will be having a control. But as soon as the process starts executing, now the process takes control over almost all the resources that the processor will be having. So therefore process mimics a processor. Then process states and state transition, right? So we know that whenever a process has been created, okay, uh, from creation to its termination, it's not a single step. Okay, there are various steps will be there. Okay, so the cycle through which a process changes its state from newly created to the execution completed is known as process die cycle. The various states through which a process traverses through during okay, so there are various states through which a particular process will traverse. Cycle indicates the current status of the process with respect to the time and also provides information on what it is allowed to do next. The below figure will represent the various states, right? So here we are going to study the various states from process creation to completion. So as soon as the first process, if it is getting executed, the first state is ready state. That means what? The particular process is ready to getting executed. So whenever it is scheduled for execution, it starts running. The processor starts getting executed. Okay. The process halts or the process gets blocked if it is waiting for any input from the IO. Might be from the output. If it is waiting for any input, okay, then the particular process gets blocked. Okay, till what point of time? Till it gets the particular data from the output. As soon as it gets the data, again it becomes ready for execution. And there is one more point over here. Whenever the process is running, okay, if it is interrupted also or it is preempted, so what will happen? It when the process gets interrupted and the OS executes the particular interrupt, okay, then afterwards again the process becomes ready. Once the process completes its tasks, okay, so once the execution gets completed, okay, so then the process is stated as it is completion. Okay, so these are the various states, okay, that will be created from process creation to process completion, which is called as process die cycle. Okay, so the next parameters we'll cover it in next video. Thank you.